hey, the game was close, but they were going to win. Soviets were going to win the game. So it wasn't until the tying goal was scored at the 8.5 minute mark of the third period, and then Eruzione, of course, scores the goal to make it 4-3. I mean, at that point, it's insane. I mean, at that point, that's when sound has feel, and the whole building is just rocking and shaking. And then those last 10 minutes were astonishing. And of course, the last minute was a case where it's the hardest I've ever had to concentrate on the air because the place is going wild. The people in the truck are going wild. Everybody's now a fan. And I remember in that final minute of the game thinking that I've just got to stay inside the game here. I can't let myself go wild. I can't let myself be a part of the crowd. The Soviets were putting the pressure on the U.S. as well at that point, so a goal could have been scored. And I am working with blinders on like a horse. All I'm doing is looking straight ahead because around us, the support people on the platform were, everybody's like jumping up and down and carrying on and screaming and yelling. I mean, these are the people who are working. And I remember just thinking to myself, stay inside the game, stay in the game, stay in the game. And at the end of the game, I couldn't have even told you what I said at the end of the game after I said it because all I was worried about was just doing the play-by-play, staying there in case a goal was scored, not saying anything silly, not going crazy, not screaming and yelling. The crowd does the screaming and yelling for you. And so when I come up with the line, "Do you believe in miracles?" Yes, it's just part and parcel of calling the game itself, doing the play-by-play. And I'm lucky in the sense that to this day people talk about it. They made a movie called Miracle, and the guys who put it together told me, "Hey, if you don't say what you said, we probably don't have a movie, but you put this attachment to it." And I understand that right now. I can see what it meant, and being able to say that at the end of the game and have it played over and over and over and over, and people can watch it hundreds of times and still tell me they get chills and all of that. But that was very serendipitous for me. That was very lucky, and it was very lucky in the sense that in the last few seconds of the game, with the Soviets putting some pressure on, the puck comes out to center ice, and now with about 5 seconds to go in the game, I'm afforded the ability to come up with something like that. And if the Soviets were putting a lot of heat on, I wouldn't have had that chance to say something along those lines because I would have been doing the actual play-by-play of them attacking the net. So I remember the only thing that came into my mind was the word miraculous. And somehow miraculous, the word in my head, gets transmitted as a question and orated as, "Do you believe in miracles?" And then I answer it with yes. And then at that point, the best thing to do was just let it play. I mean, no words are necessary at that point. And I think I even said something to the effect, no words, just pictures. Because people are so conditioned to announcers talking a lot, summing things up, uh, in effect, providing like an extraneous sound, but it's a sound that you begin to expect. And so at that point, I just felt it was just best to just, let this whole thing play out. I mean, what could be better than this? And that's where television's a visual medium, and I just felt it was the best thing to do. But in terms of those words, I look back and I think I was unbelievably lucky. It did put a stamp on it to the extent that even the players consider me, and it's always astonished me that I'm like I'm like part of the team, and they've invited me to certain affairs when they'll all get together, and nobody else gets invited from the outside, and I'm thankful for all of that. I always thought, hey guys, you did it. You wrote that script. I mean, I just, I came up with the words, but the script was yours. You put it together. You put me in a position to say something like that. And I'm thrilled for them because what it's done is it's created a situation where, as great as this event is, and this event would have lived no matter what I had said at the end. I mean, this would have been clearly one of the things that people would have remembered for the rest of their lives. But they're so thankful that I was able to put the words together, and I'm not only thankful I was able to do that, but for them too, because I still feel that this was such a unique event, something that had never happened before. I can't imagine a scenario where it's going to happen again under those circumstances. So for me to be able to do that for them and watch them be able to exult in this, a quarter century later is just so satisfying for me.